Now I'm going to take this image and drag it across all 3 devices and drop it in to Final Cut.
Whoa! Wowza! Yes, that gave me the exact reaction you have right now. We will tell you about Universal Control a little bit later on. Apple held its annual Worldwide Developer Conference, WWDC 2021, kicking off with the official keynote from Tim Cook, followed by all the latest future software platform updates coming soon to your Apple products. The keynote was jam-packed with new features coming to the new various Apple platforms. Hello, this is Aki Anastasiou. In this episode of Next Up, we dive into our favorite features coming to iOS 15, Mac OS Monterey, iPad OS 15, and more. So let's get going. Now, there are big updates coming to FaceTime, including improvements to audio and video. Apple wants to make FaceTime calls feel a lot more natural, a lot more comfortable, and lifelike. Did we mention more business-like as well? The idea is to make those FaceTime calls as realistic as possible. Now, one of the features is spatial audio. Now, let's say, for example, you're talking to a friend on FaceTime, right? And your friend is sitting on the left-hand side of a room, on the left-hand side of your screen. Their voice, when they talk to you, will come through your left-hand speaker. So you see what I mean by that realistic part? There's nothing worse talking to someone in a noisy area. With Apple's noise isolation algorithm, those noises will almost be eliminated, making it quieter and helping you focus on the conversation you're having with the other person.
I wish I could be there.
Me too. Let me fix this. Better, right?
Yeah.
She wanted for her birthday.
Now, the big news on FaceTime for us at Next Up is that FaceTime becomes a true alternative to Zoom and Teams. You'll be able to send links and iCal invites to people on other platforms to join your FaceTime call. Even if they're on Android or Windows, for example, they can join your FaceTime call. The link happens within a browser, so basically anyone with a browser and an internet connection on another device will be able to join your FaceTime call. Now, here's a really cool feature that's coming to FaceTime. It's called SharePlay. Let's say you and your friends are all on a FaceTime call. You can now start listening to songs together with Apple Music. You can watch a TV show together, and all of this happens in sync, and you can all comment on the songs and the TV series that you're watching. It's quite an interesting move from Apple because they are making the APIs available to developers who can then integrate them into their own apps. So you're going to see a lot more apps coming with SharePlay in the future. So watch this space. Oh, and if you ever SharePlay with me and you start sharing Justin Bieber, that's the end of our friendship. That's the end of the FaceTime call. Rather stick to something like, I'm gonna leave the door open. Bruno Mars, that's much better. Share that with me on Apple Music, please. Now, weather is such an important part of our lives. I check my iPhone weather app at least twice a day in winter and even more in summer just to get the most accurate weather forecast and plan my day a little bit better. I mean, in summer, we know how much rain we get across our country, so you really have to plan around the rain and putting your washing out and all those kind of things. Now, several weather apps have come under fire over the last few years for collecting your data and selling it. And that's a big problem for users. Apple last year announced that they were acquiring the popular weather app Dark Sky. So it's no coincidence that there's a major revamp coming to the weather app on your Apple device. It's been completely redesigned. It's going to feature more in-depth weather data, full screen maps, dynamic layouts, animated backgrounds, and really accurate weather forecasts. Now, the best part of this is that because the app is owned by Apple, your data is in good hands and privacy is guaranteed. Finally! What is finally, you ask? Well, have you ever misplaced your AirPod Pros? Or have one of your headphones mistakenly fallen in between your couch? You, like me, have spent hours looking for that one piece of your AirPod Pros. Well, there's great news for that. Finally, which is why I say finally, AirPod Pro and AirPod Max are coming to Apple's Find Me network. So you'll be able to find them a lot easier, just like you would with AirTags. But the cool feature is the separation alerts. You will be notified when you're about to leave them behind. If you use an iPad, then you're going to be thrilled with the upcoming iPad OS 15 update. Well, for one, multitasking is going to get a lot easier. Remember those three dots at the top of any open app? They will literally let you navigate your iPad so much more easier. For the first time, widgets are now available on the iPad home screen, so you can literally place those widgets between apps. This feature is awesome, and it's going to be such a time saver. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I have a problem with apps. I have too many apps on my iPad. I spend way too much time looking for apps on my iPad. iPad OS 15 now has App Library. So if you're like me and you've got too many apps downloaded on your iPad, I can now categorize them and organize them, and this is going to make my life a whole lot easier. Let's talk about split view for a moment, because this is my favorite feature on iPad OS. With split view in iPad OS, it temporarily pushes the app aside so you can pick a second app from anywhere, including on the dock, to add to that split screen. Now this also happens if you swipe down on the top of the app to replace it in split view. And I think this is going to save a lot of people a lot of time. And just think about the multitasking and the productivity that you're going to get out of your iPad with this new feature. I love this one. This is Quick Note, and Quick Note is a new feature that you drag open a new note from the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Now you can use Quick Note with the on-screen keyboard. You can even use it with Apple Pencil to write on the actual note. Now what is cool about Quick Note is that it knows what app you're using. So let's say you're on a website, for example, and you're using Safari and you've got Quick Note open. You can make your notes right there. You can click the paste button, it will add the URL that you're reading, and it will add it to that particular Quick Note. Now Quick Note works across all apps, and you can literally swipe across your notes and add additional information at any time. So you can look for a Quick Note, add that information. Just think of how much easier it's going to make your time and how much time it's going to save you when you're doing multitasking and when you're working on multiple ideas at the same time on all those different notes. This is a lifesaver. Hey guys, let's be honest, there's so much going on our phones right now, so much information coming our way, notifications, people trying to get hold of us. You're just bombarded with information constantly coming in. And if you're like me, you sometimes struggle to keep productive and you get distracted and your work-life balance is all over the place, right? Well, coming to your iPhone with the iOS 15 update is a new feature called Focus. Focus is completely customizable and will give you the power on how and when you want to be notified. Let's start off with notifications. They have been updated to include contact photos for people and larger icons for apps, so it's quite easy to identify the notifications. Let's be honest, not all notifications are important. Many can be quite distracting. So the notification summary feature will basically summarize your notifications and deliver them at a time that suits you. The on-device intelligence on the iPhone looks at how you engage with your apps, and it kind of works out and arranges a summary of those notifications based on your usage. How cool is that? You know that do not disturb sign that you put outside your hotel room when you don't want to be disturbed in the morning? Well, imagine that on steroids. No more interruptions. You can set up your iPhone to different modes: do not disturb, personal, sleep, etc. You can even add your own one and customize it. There's built-in intelligence in your iPhone that starts to learn how you work, and it's even easier to set up these things in future. It will even suggest ideas on how to focus.
Now I can use the trackpad on my MacBook to control my iMac as well.
What? Yes, you know, that was my reaction earlier. You remember how we started this video? Watching that WWDC keynote when they showed us universal control. Basically, what Apple are enabling us to do is to work across various Apple devices with a single keyboard and a magic mouse, and even drag and drop files. So imagine once you have paired your devices, you have your iMac open, you've got your MacBook open, you've got your iPad as well, you can access every one of those devices from one single keyboard and mouse seamlessly across all three of those devices. You can even transfer files. Now, that's what you call multitasking. Apple's digital assistant Siri can now work without an internet connection in the upcoming iOS 15 update. Now, think about it, when you're driving around and you're in an area that's got bad connectivity, Siri doesn't work sometimes. So now what this means is that Siri doesn't need connectivity to work. So if you want Siri to do something, it's no problem for Siri. It will make Siri a lot more secure and a lot more faster as well. Safari is getting a host of new features that will help manage your browsing activities a whole lot easier. Firstly, there's a new tab design that will let you see more on the page that you're browsing. Tab groups offer a new way to easily save and manage those tabs. So they're great when you're planning trips, for example, when you're shopping, you're storing frequently visited tabs. Think about those trips that you're planning, the holiday that you're planning with your family. Tab groups sync across your iMac, across your iPhone, across your iPad, so users can continue their project from anywhere, and you can easily share those tabs with your family and friends. Tab groups also synchronize across all of these devices, so it really makes it seamless to access the bookmarks and tabs. Now, on an iPhone, because the screen is slightly smaller, the size of the tab bar is accessible with just a simple tap of the button of your iPhone screen right at the bottom. Now, if you swipe across, you can access your other tabs. So Apple have really thought about how we're going to use this particular feature on your iPhone. So those are our favorite features. Thank you for joining us on Next Up and checking out our favorite features in the upcoming Apple updates. Let us know in the comments below which features you are looking most forward to. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? And hit that bell notification button. Thank you for watching us. We'll see you soon on Next Up.